everyone, welcome. We are so happy to have you here. We are Bridget and Lydia at Visibility on Purpose, and today we're going to tell you everything you need to know to launch your CPG brand. If you have a product you genuinely believe in, it's probably one that you've been working on for months, days, years, and you're watching some of these other brands start to get featured in places like Bon Appetit, Vogue, Food and Wine. Maybe they're landing podcasts or they're showing up in gift guides. We want to break this down and make it so understandable for you and know that it's 1,000% possible for you to be just like those brands. You might be posting on socials all day, which is so important. But if you're finding that no one outside of your current audience is finding you, we need to peel back the curtain and tell you everything about PR. Social media builds the community, but press is going to be the thing that builds your credibility. It's what helps a retailer take you seriously. It's what makes a customer who doesn't know you have enough trust to buy. Olipop, Siete Foods, Fishwife, or Grazia olive oil, which is like so cute. We're loving it. They didn't just blow up because they went viral. They had a PR strategy, and we're going to tell you exactly what to do, and it all starts with one pitch. So let's jump into this today. So before we get into it, we are Visibility on Purpose, a PR strategy and consulting studio. We help CPG brands, a lot of startups get featured without paying agency prices. What we've noticed being in PR for a long time is these mega brands are able to invest in really expensive PR strategies and agencies. And PR is not rocket science. And that's why we're here. We're here to help you earn the exact same coverage with a small fraction of the price. Most CPG brands are bootstrapping themselves and not able to invest in these very big, campaigns at the beginning. And so this is exactly how you can become competitive in your market and really earn that, what we like to call market share in your industry, so that you can get the ball rolling and be around for a long time. So my name is Lydia. I'm a publicist. I've been in PR for over a decade. Started my career working with Grammy Award-winning artists in the music space, so very different from what I'm doing today. But I had the opportunity to work on teams with the Beach Boys, X Ambassadors, James Bay, and some of the biggest record labels in the world. So I transitioned over into beauty, fashion, and lifestyle and CPG brands, a lot of them which you have in your home. And this is where I really fell in love with PR and noticed a major gap that there's so many amazing boutique brands that are able to earn very cool press coverage, just like the big brands. But really, it's about telling your story and the differentiators and really leaning into what makes your brand unique. And Bridget is the other co-founder of Visibility on Purpose, and she really learned by doing. So Bridget has been an entrepreneur for a long time, and she has a background in book publishing. So when I found Bridget on Facebook, like many of us do these days, in the age of the internet, is she was going live every single day talking about how, as an author, you need to get visibility, you need to earn press. And she was earning features on Yoga Journal and these big news stations. And so Bridget knows how to do it from the brand's perspective. So over the years, she has really become a leader in the space. She's a PR strategist. She has a background in sponsorships and traditional publicity. And between the two of us, we have just found this really unique space of being able to see both sides of a PR campaign and make sure that it's successful for you. So a little bit of housekeeping. As we go through this masterclass, we are going to give you a lot of very valuable content. Make sure to write notes. You can screenshot and make sure to tag us on social media. We absolutely love to hear from you. We also have a YouTube channel where we share videos talking about different things that can really support your brand, whether you're in entrepreneurship, doing a PR campaign, or social media. So, all right, we're going to get into it. If you're new to the world of PR, a lot of people in our community think that PR means press release, and we will go into that later, but public relations is all about how the public, how your audience, how the world perceives your brand. And companies use and brands use PR to educate people through media features and a variety of outlets like magazines, podcasts, TV segments. So some of those brands I introduced in the beginning: Olipop, Siete Foods, Grazia Oil, Fishwife, those companies have all used public relations and features in gift guides and magazines and maybe even podcasts. A lot of founders love to be on podcasts to educate their audience on that brand and make it look like it's third party. association. Because when you're featured in a magazine or in a gift guide or on a podcast, it is developing your brand's image with the public. It's building credibility, it's building trust, and we'll talk through that. But I just wanted to give kind of like that base level view. And we love using Nielsen's quote here because 92% of consumers trust earned media, like press coverage, over other types of advertising, and making it one of the most effective ways to build trust and credibility in a brand. Earned media, like what we're talking about today in this masterclass, consumers trust because it's not you saying my brand is the coolest. It's third party credibility. It's someone else saying, wow, this is the best thing that you should get your mom for Mother's Day.
Okay, so these are all the amazing things of how PR can really help your brand succeed for the long term. And you're going to hear us say this a lot because PR is what helps your brand become a household name. So it positions you as the go-to brand and immediately makes you relevant. It builds brand awareness. It gets your product in front of new audiences organically. It earns credibility. So that third-party endorsement, what Bridget was talking about from top outlets, it really builds the consumer trust while it's doing that. It also attracts retailers. So buyers often discover new brands through press. It strengthens your SEO and informs AI. Now, this is so, so important. As we know, ChatGPT, Claude, all these different AI models are really becoming the next Google. Even Google has its own AI where it's pulling answers at the top when you search. So understanding that AI is actually pulling from earned media, it's helping you create your narrative of the brand online. So if you're getting featured in a gift guide and it's like best gifts for Christmas and somebody is typing in, I need to get a Christmas gift for my aunt, what should I get her? If your brand populates, that's most likely because you earned press about it. It also supports your marketing campaigns. So we always say that PR is a brand growth strategy and it helps support different areas of what you're already doing. So it helps support your emails. If you got featured somewhere, you can send that out in your newsletter. You can use those logos on your website and say, we've been featured in X, Y, and Z. I know you've seen that when you go to your favorite brand websites. It supports your social media. So PR really is a supportive role in everything that you're doing to build the long-term strategy for your brand. It also increases brand value. So consistent press signals momentum to investors and partners. There's been many times where brands have come to Bridget and I saying like, hey, I really want to get investors. And so I want to earn some press to look really credible and really stand out and show that I have momentum. That's really important when we're looking to get new partners. And ultimately, it drives new client sales. So trusted media features, they boost conversions, they let people find your products. It builds new avenues for people to find your brand.
So, in the spirit of pulling back the curtain for everyone, here's the truth. Almost every product you see in a magazine article, whether it's online, digital, or print, like at your local, corner store, or podcast you listen to where the founder is speaking about the product, it always starts with a pitch. And a pitch is simply an email introduction to your brand, a story, a concept, and you're letting a writer at one of these publications know that you exist. But it all needs to start there. I think a big myth is that brands think that they'll get discovered. And unless you're Coca-Cola and you're already well known, of course, you're going to have a writer wanting to potentially write about you. But when you're a newer brand or just new on the scene in your category, you actually need to reach out to them first. And the second thing here is that writers, producers, and TV reporters, they are looking for your brand because if you really think about it, this is a content game for them as well. So writers, producers, TV reporters, they need the best content for their station, for their numbers, for the money, for, that media channel. They need your brand because they need sources. So they need the best brand for Mother's Day this year. They need the best gift for, fathers around Christmas time. So they need you just as much as you need them. They just don't know you exist. And this is where we need to light a fire under all of you watching this to know that you can reach out to them.
So here's the how. How do you actually land press? Press is all about how your brand story and products provide value for writers, editors, or hosts. And the key is to really make it easy for them to say yes to you. So another peeling back the curtain moment, Media coverage is earned, not bought. And if we do end up buying media coverage, that really leans into paid ads. And just so you know, if anything is paid, they legally have to say sponsored by in the story. And it also does not signal to Google or AI that this is a credible source. Your brand is a credible source. That press feature is a credible source. And so it's really not supporting your SEO, which at the end of the day, that is the biggest moneymaker that we could have for our brands. We want to be able to populate on Google, and we can't do that with bot press. So we talk about earned specifically, and it starts with knowing why your brand matters right now and what makes it different from its competitors. So if you want to, you can take a few minutes and answer these questions for yourself. And I think this will really help you understand why your brand is so different. What we see a lot with CPG brands, and especially startups, is they know their story. But when it comes to talking about those sensory experiences, the packaging, what somebody is going to taste, the ingredients, the formula, those are those big differentiators that are really going to set you apart because let's be honest, almost everything has been created. And so if you are launching an olive oil brand, what makes you different from the traditional ones that people have been using for years and years? So question number one, what makes your brand different? Why is it unique? And then question number two, how can we connect this with the current seasons, trends, or your launch date?
So grab a piece of paper, and as I kind of talk about this, I want your mind to be going already, or, write this on the computer if you want. So the biggest thing that we need to be thinking about when we are sending a pitch looking to get our product or brand covered in the media is we need to be seasonal, we need to be timely, we need to be relevant, we need to be newsworthy, we need to be interesting. And how can we do that? Because the biggest thing is that a writer doesn't necessarily care about your brand. They want it to make sense for something they're writing about. So let's think of, what's coming up. We are maybe entering summer. So we think about this is barbecue season. This is a time where people want to look good. So health and wellness. What are the trends that people are thinking about this time of year? And how does your product or your brand fit into that conversation already? Obviously, Christmas, holidays, it's a little easier to think about what's going on around that time because everyone's already talking about it. And if you struggle to kind of connect the dots of what is talked about versus how your brand can fit in, just do a nice little search. So head on to parents.com or Bon Appetit and type in a keyword in the search bar and think about starting to see what is naturally going to be populated when you do that query. You're going to see the types of content that they're writing about, and you're naturally going to get some ideas.
Most of you are already so good at this. If we think about social media trends that are happening right now, one of them is the clean girl aesthetic. You've probably seen it everywhere. And we want to encourage you to have fun with this. If you're noticing these trends, most likely writers are interested in talking about it. Just remember, this doesn't have to be reinventing the wheel. It's things that you're most likely already talking about with your friends or on social media. Why it worked. Okay, so this was one of our clients, Brisca Olive Oil. They worked with us last year and immediately within 2 months got themselves a food and wine feature. So why did this work? Why were they able to get a major feature right away? And it didn't stop here for them. They got a gift guide feature, they got a Vogue feature. And so just understanding too that once you start getting responses from the media, it kind of creates a ripple effect. When the founder reached out to Food and Wine, she talked about the sobremesa, which is basically the origin of this olive oil. It's the idea in Spain of sitting around with your friends and family at the table, chatting for hours, dipping your bread in olive oil, enjoying a glass of wine. This whole experience was infused in this bottle. And the whole point of having a little bit of Brisca olive oil is to really feel this presence. So leading into my next point of it was perfect for when she pitched it. It was around the holiday season. It was around hosting. And so this is a great hosting gift. And this is something that she really leaned into. It's like, how do we, make it newsworthy and relevant for the times? It was really smart of her to pitch it at this time and in this way. And then she talked about her differentiators. The packaging makes it super giftable, the quality, the experience. And even if we're thinking about summer right now, I know Bridget was talking about summer, this is a great item to have for barbecue season. And so when we're pitching for certain story angles, it doesn't have to be a one and done situation. It really is thinking outside of the box of how can I make my brand unique and relevant and at really any time of the year and make this an evergreen product. So, just to give you an example of the type of exposure you get from these big features, Food and Wine alone has 13.95 million unique visitors per month. So, that means a potential of that many individuals seeing or landing on this story and this brand. And it doesn't go away. Press features are on the internet forever, and it feeds into that SEO. So, 3 years from now, if I go onto Google and I'm looking for the best Spanish olive oil, it's likely that this story will come up.
So this is another brand that we worked with. And one of the things that we love to do with brands is they have a product, they know it's amazing, they have customers buying, but they haven't been featured yet. So this is where we actually do a personalized PR plan and we write the entire PR strategy for the brand, just like if we were their publicist. And we write the pitch for them. We tell them the exact outlets that they should look into. And one of the things that we find, and I know I felt like this, doing the PR for myself early on, is I didn't even know what news outlets were out there. So we actually have a slide in just a little bit that we'll be able to show you. That way you get the exact perfect ones for your category. So this is a brand that we worked with called All In. Part of her differentiator is the only ancient grain cake mix. So she really went into the no preservatives, no artificial flavors, and all of these things are important to consumers now. So we threaded that into the pitch. It was also newsworthy and relevant to the time of year. So in the pitch, we made sure that it hit on that. We highlighted those differentiators, as I mentioned, the only ancient green cake mix, so it was different. Also, the branding was like unique and fun and playful. And it also hit on the senses, such as nostalgia of homemade baking, because everyone knows what it's like to bake a cake growing up. And we hit on that. And this is the exact pitch that got the brand into Bon Appetit. And Bon Appetit has 5.327 million visits per month. That is absolutely incredible.
So before you launch, you're probably thinking, ooh, this is a great idea. I should be getting my PR strategy or campaign in place before I even announce my product. So this is our checklist of the items that you need before you reach out to the media. Also, if you're here and you've already launched your brand, you aren't behind. Any time for press coverage is a good time. So these are the items that we would recommend, and they're great to have on hand for really anybody, but really great for the media. This makes it easy for them to feature your brand right away. So a clear description of your products, probably already have this done, its benefits, its ingredients, maybe instructions, and the brand story. You want to have your website and social media accounts professional and ready. A big one that a lot of people forget about is samples. So the media, like everybody else, before they're reviewing something, wants to try it. We want to make sure that we have samples on hand. Now, professional images are extremely important. We always recommend to have your products on a white background. This is because most graphic teams at publications like to do their own thing. They like to have it clean and kind of match on their pages and sites. I do love lifestyle images. I think they're a great to have and they're beautiful, but it really depends on the publication. So we recommend having both high resolution only, just over a certain number of megabytes. We would say over 1 megabyte. So affiliate networks are a need to know. We're not going to spend too much time on this, but being on an affiliate platform really makes you competitive when it comes to earning press. We have a YouTube video. We're going to give you a link so you can get a little discount in the email where you signed up. So look for it there if you're interested. And in the YouTube video, I give you a walkthrough of exactly how to sign up. So rest assured, if you are like, oh my God, I think I have everything, all my ducks in a row, but I'm not on an affiliate platform, we have a space to get you there. So what it is essentially an affiliate platform supercharges your campaign. An affiliate network allows publications to earn a tiny commission when their readers buy your products through a tracked link. It's performance-based, so it's on a win-win basis. And Impact has a starter edition, so it's great for startup brands. It's super affordable. It's either $30 a month, I believe, or it is the affiliate commission if it's a little bit higher. We recommend 10 to 20% depending on the publication. So essentially what it looks like is if you go on Bon Appetit and you see the cake mix, for example, and you're like, ooh, this looks delicious, I want to buy it. And you go to the website and you buy a few different flavors, it will take a small percentage of your cart. And this is a thank you essentially for these publications featuring our brands. They really don't have anything in it for them other than, giving you this exposure. And so it's also a way for them to get a little skin in the game and earn a little bit of commission. As we know, print publications are no longer a thing. I'm a magazine girly through and through, but it's not something that's making them money. So this is the way that a lot of publications now are making their money. It's still considered earned media because it is earned. You just need to go through that process of pitching the writers and them being interested in featuring you. But on certain high traffic publications, it could be a yes or no, dependent on if you're on an affiliate network. So we always say get on an affiliate network. Impact is the preferred one for publications. And once you're on there, you can actually do a lot with affiliate networks. So if you do want to do a creator campaign down the road, that is an option.
So press releases, it's probably something that you actually associate with public relations and PR naturally. And a press release is essentially just an informational memo out to editors, journalists, the public to let them know something has happened, right? Whether it is a launch or a new ingredient or a merger or a collaboration with another big brand. And there are ways that you can actually post this for free if you are a food and beverage company. Some press release sites are going to charge you a lot of money. So here's our little hack. You can actually use and go onto BevNet. You can upload your press release. You can add a number of images. And if you are a food company and not a beverage company, they'll actually post it onto Nombase. So this is a great way for you to get kind of that expanded distribution at, I believe, a pretty nominal price. At the time of recording this video, it's something like $129, right, Lydia?
Yeah, it's $129 if you want to add images. If you want to add nothing, it's free. However, we recommend adding images, and we'll tell you on the next slide.
And a brand that we just worked with, Solzy, like, first of all, look how incredible their branding is. We're obsessed and cannot wait to get our hands on this espresso tonic. We wrote a pitch for them, did a personalized PR plan, and one of our tips for them was to post on BevNet. And here is their press release that you can see. Look how beautiful it is. And it's just another way that people can find out about your brand as well because it's posted on the internet and it lives there forever.
Yeah, so this is a great starting point for brands, especially if you're first launching. And writers do see this. So, speaking of, this is one of our personal clients recommended that they post a press release on BevNet, and a writer at Vice saw it and wrote an entire story on a collab that they did. So not only did they get a BevNet feature right away, they had a place for their press release to live, but they got a feature out of it from a very well-respected high traffic site.
So if you're anything like me and you don't even know what outlets are out there, here is a list of incredible publications that are broken down by category. So say that you have a drink brand, maybe you're going to go to Food and Wine, send your pitch to Bon Appetit, Cooking Light, Delish, Real Simple, Martha Stewart. These are all household names in the industry. And imagine having these logos on your website. That is huge because when someone scrolls on your site, you want these logos to be there. These are things that are important. And now you can take a screenshot of this, but this should be a really great way to kind of enter the space, to know who to send the pitch for. And I'm going to just walk us through really quickly what I would do if I were in your shoes on how to find the right articles and figure out who to send the pitch to. So this is Bon Appetit. I'm sure everyone's heard of this. Now, if you are a food and beverage company, this is a site I would want to be pitching. So I just went on the main site here and I was just going to take a little journey down. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. You can start to see again what content is being created, and that's going to spark ideas for you immediately. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more and I'm going to come to this one. It says the 7 snacks we're most excited to buy this May. Okay, and it brings me to this article. Now we know the exact writer, hint, hint, maybe that's someone that you want to pitch. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. And here is Fishwife. So this is that brand that we were talking about just in the beginning. And you can see that she wrote a little blurb on it, but this is the exact kind of placement you'd probably be looking to get. This link, potentially an affiliate link like we were talking about with Impact, but this is a great feature for Fishwife because now they can say, okay, featured in Bon Appetit. Okay, so I'm going to click over here and let's see what it opens up to. So this is their direct website. So if you actually look at the URL up here, I'm not sure if everyone can see it, but this is a tracking link. So that's exactly what we're talking about. That article or that publication is actually making money anytime someone goes and buys this product. So it is a complete win-win. Fishwife was featured. That's great exposure for the brand. Then a consumer goes and clicks through that link. They go to purchase Fishwife. Not only does Fishwife get paid, but also Bon Appetit gets paid.
And these tracking links only last for 30 days. So really it's about earning new customers. So I wouldn't be concerned about paying too much.
And just to give Fishwife one more moment of spotlight, if you scroll down on their main page of their website, first of all, how fun. But look right here, friends. We have Food and Wine, we have Insider, we have Vogue, we have New York Times, we have Vanity Fair. Gosh, they'll have to add Bon Appetit. Should we let them know that they need to add it?
Obviously. Okay, so to round this out, what you got out of today. So you understand how PR works. You understand how it can make you relevant amongst your favorite brands and competitors like Olipop, Siete Foods, Fishwives, Gracia Olive Oil, and Ilia. You understand what makes your brand unique and stand out so you can earn those high-profile press features. You know the different seasons and the times of the year to really capitalize on for earned press. You know where to post your press release for free. You also know that you could potentially earn press just from that one post. You know the exact items that you need to have on hand in order for the media to feature you. You know that you need samples. And finally, you know the exact publications that make sense for your brand from that one page.
So this is how we've been working with brands and having the most fun doing it. A lot of the brands come to us and they know that they need the press, they have the product, and they're asking ourselves, like, what's the next step? I don't know where to start. So we created something called our personalized PR plan, and it is like the perfect entry point into the PR world. If you don't have a clue of where to begin, you don't know how to write a pitch, you don't know who to send it to, we will actually customize a strategy for you. We are going to write your pitch. Then we're going to do a nice call so we can go over it with you and work with you one-on-one. And we do all this in 3 to 5 days. So you don't need to be waiting months. You get your plan right away.
So now it's your turn to get featured. You have all the tools and you know where to go with this. Make sure to send us a little note on Instagram, send us an email. We love chatting with you. And we also love to celebrate brands that have gone through our masterclass.